Good evening, good evening, good evening. Come into the J Spot, replacing your G Spot every Thursday from 6 to 7, giving you real relationship talk, real relationship drama with the best night of your life. Your host, Jay, and Simply E, hold on, get ready to enter the J Spot on IntellectualRadio-Com.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo! You have entered the J Spot where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. Sitting next to me, he she'll be here after the first break. So, guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also, follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio, and Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Guys, thank you so much. Listen, it has been a long, I don't like it. Does it feel like October to you all, or am I just the only one that feels like we have gotten stuck? Like, I feel like the last time we lived life was in March, and then that's it, like the second week of March. And then everything that has happened from March, the second week of March until today, has pretty much been a blur. But guys, there's so much going on with the election and all of this other stuff. I mean, the vaccine is so much stuff. Sometimes you just have to turn the news off, don't listen to the news, don't read the newspapers, because it's so much crap going on. So when you are being bombarded with all that negativity, do me a favor, come on over here and join us right here on the J Spot. We're going to talk about some ish that's going to get your mind off of all that. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Listen, we're going to start, guys. Listen, it's a mess going on social media. Okay, so we have a whole lot of hot topics to talk about tonight, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, listen, the first one is kind of could be kind of touchy, but I thought about this because I've seen this a lot. What causes a parent to be jealous of their child or children? I'll repeat that. What causes a parent to be jealous of their child or children? Now, when you say, Jay, can't no parent be jealous of their kids? The devil is a liar. Yes, they can. I've seen people where, they would do malicious things, to their kids, maybe not physically, but they would harm them, just do sneaky, underhanded things to put them in horrible positions. They'll put bills in their name and not tell them, run their credit up, take their money, without them knowing, do all in the name of being jealous. And you would say, well, you know what? That's not being jealous. Well, what do you call it? When you don't want your child to do better than you are. Listen, you made your decision. Like, the choices you made put you in the position that you are in your life right now. But as a parent, it's our job to encourage our kids to go further and to be better than we are. Like, I want my son to be better than I am. Like, I was hot to try, well, I was simmered down by his age because I had him at a young age. But I'm thankful that he doesn't have any kids. I'm thankful that he is getting a chance to live his life and do the things that a young college student should do. So I'm not out there telling him, oh, well, you need to go get this girl. You need to do this. You need all kinds of negative stuff. No, I'm telling him what to do to be a business owner, how to finish school, how to keep his credit tight, how to do all these positive, productive things. But on the other hand, again, there are some parents that if they credit jacked up, guess what? They want their kids' credit to be jacked up because they know that they're not going anywhere. So then they do things to jeopardize their children. If your kid is doing better, your kid is working and they're being responsible, and they're making their little money and everything, and they're stacking their money. So now they done bought their first little car. Yeah, you should, as a parent, be excited for them. So now you see that they have a car that may be better than yours. So now you want to go, oh, charging them all this extreme amount of rent for to stay at the house with you. Now all of a sudden you got to pay $300 a month for what? Like, why don't you teach them and help them save, help them to be able to get themselves more established, so when they do leave home, then they won't be returning because you've set them, they've set a solid foundation. But a lot of times some parents get caught up in their feelings. Listen, it's not your child's fault that you had them at an early age and you were not established, and now at the point that you are a parent, they're not a parent and they're doing their thing. Don't go sabotaging their lives. Some parents, put their kids out way before they know that they are ready to fly on their own, all in attempts of, keeping them from doing better. Some parents encourage their kids, oh, go ahead on and have a baby. Why you don't have a baby so you can go ahead on and make sure you get this Section 8 or make sure you get this. The craziest things ever. It's like, come on, how do you not want what's best for the very thing that you gave birth to, that you gave life to? We got to change that. A lot of times it's a lot of mothers and daughters, back and forth with each other. The mother, again, she doesn't want the daughter to do well because the daughter may be doing better than the mom is, or the father, I'm not really sure. I haven't really seen too many fathers, have this issue with their sons or even their daughters. But a lot of times, mothers, we just gonna have to get it together because did nobody tell us to keep it on the down low. R. Kelly was lying to us when he said keep it on the down low and nobody had to know, because 9 to 10 months later, everybody would know what was going on a down low. So if you have a kid now, and I know a lot of us, we're not gonna admit to this, so I'm not even asking you to admit, openly that you do have a problem with your child. But if you do, like, really do some soul searching on how to resolve that issue, because it's definitely not fair. I mean, your kids need you at all points in their lives, especially when they become young adults, that 17 21, 22 ish. Listen, they are just crazy people at that age because guess what? They think they know everything, just like you thought you knew everything at that point. But we all need somebody. So definitely make sure that you are giving your kids the support that they need. Don't be jealous of them, be proud of them, because if they're successful, then that's a reflection on the job that you've done with them, the job that you've done raising them. So be happy for them, continue to encourage them. If they are not out here getting in all this trouble and doing all this craziness, that's a reflection of you. So the higher they go, it looks good for you because you did that. So don't look at it as something where, oh well, I don't want them to do better than me, or I'm kind of upset because she got this before me, or she owned a house and I'm still in an apartment, and go to do things to try to sabotage their success. Let's not be like that. Let's look at it, as I said, from the standpoint of, man, I did that thing. Like when my son, he have his wins in life, I'm like, man, please, man, I'm thankful. I'm like, man, I did that. That's all the hard work, all the sweat, all the tears, everything that I instilled in him. He's making it happen. And I'm thankful for that. Now the mistakes, I be ready to pass them off to some. I'm like, you know what? This one right here. Or when he winning, no, but I claim them all the time, especially when you're doing dumb stuff that, I'm like, oh, you just like your mama. I can't stand it. But guys, again, don't put that type of energy out there, because guess what? The kids can feel it. They can feel it, and then they turn around and resent you. Don't let it be you only got one kid and you doing them wrong. Now you get up in age and you looking for somebody to take care of your behind, and then you could be the very person in the nursing home that all these people see, and they're like, man, how could somebody just put their loved one in a nursing home and nobody ever comes to see them? You wonder why. What did you do? Now I'm not saying that that's the case for everybody, but some people, just watch how you treat people, especially watch how you treat your kids. But now listen, speaking of kids, how many kids are too many kids for you to have someone that you're dating? So you're dating. How many kids is too many for him to have? How many kids is too many for her to have? Now listen, also, is it the age? Is it, would you say, what? I don't care how many kids they have as long as they don't have any babies. You may be that type of person. And I may, well, no, I think I'm more concerned about how many people they have kids with because I'm just like, everything is real. Like, the more people that they have kids with, that's just the more people that you have to deal with. And I'm like, at this point in my life, my nerves, they're not what they used to be. So I'm like, I'm not about to sit here and keep, every day we have to listen to a baby mama calling on a baby mama, a baby daddy. Listen, it's just too much. It's too much. So at some point you want to be settled. But again, some people like all that. It keeps keeps the spark going and keep you young. I guess keep you young, but that'll run my blood pressure up high. I'm not gonna deal with it. But how many kids are too many for you to deal with someone when you're dating? How many kids is too many for him to have? How many kids is too many for her to have? Like, I would say my limit would be, okay. Let me backtrack. At first, I didn't want to deal with nobody that had kids. Now I know you may say, now Jay, now how selfish is that? You gonna not want to deal with somebody that had kids, but you have kids? Well, no, I it's singular. I have a kid. I don't have, the plural. So I already always wanted, like, somebody that did not have kids because, again, I kind of had experience with dealing with somebody that had kids, and it's just like it was just not a good fit. But the older I got, I'm like, you know what? As long as the man is a father in his kids' lives and he's taking care of them, then I'm okay with the number. And then I got a little older, the 30 plus range, and I'm just like, well, you know what? As long as he don't have any little kids at home, because my thing is this, like, I'm over doing homework, I'm over tying shoes, I'm over that whole all that ish. I'm over making, raviolis and all that other stuff. I'm over that. So you need to be able to come and be self-sufficient. And I'm not talking about the little grown kids, the little kids that's grown. Oh, I can fix my own stuff, Miss J. I don't need you to know for me. I can do it. No, 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 no. We need some kids that's grown and up and out the house. And even with that, you still got to be careful because, let's be real, things happen in life. So somebody may need to come home. Are you going to be okay with dealing with their kids coming home? So you got to ask yourself, let's say if two of them fell on hard times at the same time and they need to come back home with y'all, would you be okay with that? So how many kids are too much? So I would say two, three at the max. The same by the same person. Again, I'm not really sure if I would want to deal with three by three different women. I'm just not sure I would want to deal with that. Derek, you're saying both of my sons are successful and doing better than me. I am so happy for them. One is a millionaire and the other works for Amazon as an engineer. Neither one has kids. That's what's up right there, Derek. Katie, hey, Katie Lowe, how you doing? So again, we want our kids to definitely do better than us, and we want to support them and encourage them to, again, be better. Like Derek just said, one of his kids is a millionaire, the other one, is works for Amazon as an engineer. No kids. Like, that is what's up. Like, that is like the best thing. And it's like to be proud of that, not to be sitting, sabotaging, trying to make them lose his money, make them lose their jobs, make them not be able to get scholarships and lose. Just, people do crazy, crazy things. And it's just like, come on. you got to do better. And a lot of times it's a vicious cycle because it was passed on to you, it was done to you, and it was done to you. And I've never like really understood that. I've always thought that if something was done to you and it hurted, why would you do it to someone else? Like, why would you inflict that type of pain on somebody else? So just definitely think about that. But again, when dealing with kids and dating, how many kids can you deal with? Like, what is your limit on kids? What is your limit on baby mamas, baby daddies? Like, are you saying, you know what? I can deal with 5 kids, seven. I can even deal with 7 kids as long as it's the same man or the same woman. I can deal with 7 kids. I can deal with it. I just can't deal with all the different people. Again, the little ones, them little jokers, the ones that, between that 4 to 7 age, we may not get along because you know what, them little doubles, they've been here before, and them be the first ones to say, "You ain't my mama. You ain't my mama, you ain't my dad." Well, first of all, Malachi, let me tell you a thing or two. I already said your mama ugly, so no, I'm not your mama. See, and that again, that's not the right statement to make to a little kid. But you know what? Y'all need to make sure y'all doing right with them and make sure they ain't saying the stuff that they not supposed to be saying. Cause man, we'll have a nice little conversation. Like, now, Jay, how you gonna stoop to their level? No, they rose to my level. You don't say no stuff like that because back in the day, kids had a place, but nowadays they don't have a place. They can just get in where they fit in, I guess. But guys, listen, how many kids are too many for someone that you're dating? We're gonna take a short musical break. And when we return, we're going to get into the remainder of our hot topics. Guys, we have a great show lined up for you tonight. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. It's true. Yeah. I would not believe if someone would have told me you would come along. Oh, to reveal my soul, cause I was so in love, my heart had grown cold, so cold. You had good energy, exactly what I needed. You walked in my life and placed the joy where was needed. I don't know, gosh, what I feel for you, but that on God, girl, I'm loving you. Said it's easy, it's easy to love, easy to love. Said it's easy, it's easy to love, easy to love. Oh yeah, yeah. Loving you has always been easy 'cause you're beautiful. Loving you has always been wonderful, more than you'll ever know. We got the chemistry, go together like love sex. The passion and care we show one another tops all the rest. The feelings I have for you, I ain't felt in so long. What we share together, baby, the bond is so strong. It's no facade of what I feel for you, love. But that, oh God, I got love for you, yeah. Said it's easy to love. Easy to love. Said it's easy, baby. It's easy to love. Said it's easy, baby. Easy to love. Said it's easy. So easy to love. Easy to love you. Loving you has always been easy 'cause you're beautiful. Loving you, yeah, yeah, is what I search my life to do. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. On IntellectualRadio.com, we are an iHeart station I'm your host, Jay.
Yes.
And sitting next to me, we have my sizzling co-host, my partner in crime, sizzling, sexy, simply E, author, actress, businesswoman, playwright, sex kitten. Hey E, how you doing?
Call me a whore.
No, goon.
Oh,
he
I
said
was
goon.
about to
That's
say,
the
I ain't
producer
done
back
nothing
there.
in a long time. So you gonna call me a whore?
You, how you doing today, E?
Girl.
Oh Lord.
All
Whenever
I can say is children.
them little ones are getting to you.
It's not even. You know what? The youngest one, I think he just watching what the oldest two have done. And he's like, man, let me just watch y'all just mess up, so I know not what to, I know what to do. Because that's what I did. I watched my siblings just screw up, jack up. I'd be like, golly. So I knew exactly how to do everything that I did, so I didn't get in trouble. I had five in front of me, and my oldest sister, she had passed, so she couldn't do nothing, no how. But them other four, I watched them jack up all over the place. I was like, I ain't doing none of that. Amon is doing the same thing. He's watching. You's an idiot. You's an idiot. I ain't doing none of that. He just watching. He quiet. He watching everybody. Cause that oldest boy, that girl, like, okay, next.
So do you feel like they're like you were?
No. Even my mother says no. My sister, she be cracking up. One of my sisters, she told my daughter, "You're me." I was like, "What?" I said, "I told you." She's like, "Everything that you're doing to your mom, that's the stuff that I did to mom. Edra wasn't like that. Edra didn't do none of that stuff. Everything you doing, that's what I did." I don't know how she got me to raise. Wow. And I'm just like, I didn't do this. They say, well, you're gonna get whatever you get your
But
parents.
you're right.
I didn't do this. The stuff that I'm getting, I did not do. I know. My mom will tell you I was a good child.
See, mine. That's definitely me. Like 90% of him, 90% is me. Totally. He's like the male. He's the male version of me, with the exception of he's more quiet than I am. But when you get him there, baby, just listen, just move everything, because you really don't want to be bothered with what's about to go on, because it's like you would feel like, okay, he's overreacting. This is too cool, he done did something, and I know he gonna be so mad if I tell you what he did, but let's just say he left somewhere out of state and didn't tell nobody he was gone.
He left from down.
You serious?
I'm calling him.
So
because they grown. That's why he did it, because he's grown.
You know what? And I'm just like, no. I said, you now that right there. I'm like, I don't know where he got that mess
because
from.
he's grown. Because you forgot, you weren't the only one that sperm mixed with your egg. So there's another part of that sperm, that little baby that y'all created is another part of that. And then you got to think about, he got aunties and uncles. So some we're up in there. That DNA is mixed up in there too.
He definitely. I'm just like, so that's why I say when he get agitated and he get upset, it's just like, oh, I gotta tell you, he gonna be listen. And you know what? But still love me though anyway, son, because he say I talk to girl. He be, now that he's home, guys, for this COVID whatever bull jock, and he can't be at school. He's so judgmental. He's just like, you know what? You are so extra, and you always. I'm like, first of all, respect your elders. He was like, Mom, I'm tired of you. He always be telling me, I'm tired of you saying that. You are not no elder, because I've been trying to get a discount in the restaurant. So I've been trying to get the senior citizen discount. Especially, I'm like, can I get a senior's coffee? And
you both get.
He'd be like, oh my God. So, sometimes I just be doing it because I want him to buy my coffee, and he ain't gonna buy it unless I clown.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, you know what, let me go ahead and get that. Please do not, she just get the regular, so I'm like, I shouldn't have to go through all of that, just to get you to treat me to a cup of coffee. So again, just, listen, these kids, we were talking about before you came in here, how many kids would be the limit for somebody you were dating? How many kids would be the limit? But now I want to throw a twist into that. Can bad kids ruin a relationship? Can
Hell
bad kids?
yeah! Oh my! You know what? They can if you allow them. If you don't check those children, and a lot of times, you have these children that they're quote unquote bad, and it's probably because they just really want some attention or whatever, and that's the
Oh,
gist
I
of it.
got some attention. Listen, I'm gonna hang them over the balcony like Michael Jackson did, blanket, and show them
Shake
to
'em.
the world, and be like, oh my nerves got. Listen, you, oh
I
man, please,
have
I'm do 5 heartbeat when he read
my
my business out. I
9 to 5.
like, now what time I told you to go to bed? It's 8:30. What time you supposed to be in bed? You up in here? You better find yourself. You better find
They
yourself.
call me like I'm the disciplinary one at work.
Oh,
So yeah, 'cause I'm military and everything. So they
oh.
just sit in the bed with the ones that act out. They be like, Miss Harris, and be like, come on, yeah. I see you want to give them a problem. Come on, they come in there with me. Sit still, sit still. And this one that's a twin. Oh, he be giving them the flu flux. And this other little one, he be giving them the straight flu flux. And I'm like, and they look at me like, yeah, you with me now. So sit still. Don't you touch nothing.
Man, that is crazy. But it's like with the dating and dealing with these kids. Like, I know there was a guy I was dealing with, and he had a daughter, and I'm just like, oh yeah, no, this is definitely not gonna work because he didn't see anything that she did. Like,
Wrong.
and I'm just like, okay, I'm personally not going to be able to deal with this because he didn't believe in, like hitting and all. Now, listen, okay, I believe that there's a difference between child abuse and
beating
then,
that
you know
ass.
what? Because some of them, you got to hem them up. Listen, some of them, they like, oh, this time out. Yeah, I'm going to put you on time out after you get hemmed up. But some situations require you to be snatched, just
Out of your
snatched
soul,
up,
out your soul, out your body.
snatched up out your sleep,
Mhm.
because listen, I'm gonna tell you like this: if these surprise whoopings that they used to give out, the ones that in your sleep, you didn't see, you thought Santa, you worry about Santa Claus coming in the middle of the night. You better worry in the hope that you're not getting a behind kicking
I had to do that
in
with
your.
my son.
Did you?
With the baby, I'm on the other like 2 weeks ago because I came downstairs and I'm in a lot of pain. My body literally hurts. And I'm like, why is my kitchen not clean when I know I told this boy to clean my kitchen up? I got up. I went downstairs. I saw that my kitchen was a mess. I got the broom. He was on my couch. I was like, bam! Get up on my couch. I was like, go clean my kitchen up. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. It was a school night. I don't care.
Bet you that kitchen ain't been dirty since. Cause I'm telling you, them be the best lessons. I'm just like, I'm like, I remember just back in the day, I'm like, see, it was a lot of us. So, you hear it. See, when you hear it coming, you ain't gotta worry about having no nightmares or nothing. Sugar, it's real. When you hear that yelling, your siblings yelling, just know the Terminator is home. She done made it home from work,
right.
And you better hope
Yeah.
that your name ain't on her list. Because you remember back in the day they had a list. They said if they put your name on the list, they kicking behinds and checking your name off. You want to make sure that your name was not on that list. And I'm just so thankful, many a times because see, again, like you said, I watched what they were doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, you know what? It's just not worth getting. It's just not worth getting dealt with for because I see the magnitude of where this can go. So I'm just like So I wasn't perfect. My
But you was the oldest. You was the ringleader.
No, I wasn't. I'm like, I ain't know. Look, my sister next to me, she was the ringleader. Her and my brother, they was the ring. No, you got them other two. Tiny, no, see, it was all the rest of them. It was the rest. It was 2 through 5. Them was the ones. 6 and 7, they was okay, and we was out the house by the time they really.
So what was one doing? One was just
observing observing a lot of stuff, because I didn't have a lot of questions that, I'm just like, because they beat you to it. Some people were just more curious than others.
You wasn't the curious one.
No. No, I was the
You
cautious one. Y'all guys
you can tell how curious children look. Look at them big old eyes Jay got. Her eyes open up buck. That's how that's the curious eyes right there. They open up buck. That's curiosity. Look at
no,
cats. They be looking.
no,
So let
no,
me get
no.
up
I'm
in
telling you,
this.
she
And see
man,
what's
that
going
sister.
on.
Let me tell you, that sister did not play no
Hey,
games. So
Adrian.
I'm just like, how you come home, you thinking she gonna be tired from the second.
I'd be
Man,
ticked off. I'm be pissed.
come home. And like I said, with my stepfather, that's what I've told that story before. So again, we've definitely had our names on that list. So I think that definitely bad kids can ruin a relationship because if the kid is successful at it, they will definitely put a wedge in that relationship because the parent will feel like the biological parent will feel like you don't like their kid.
But see, you got to know that you when you got a bad child, your child
But
is.
some people
poor.
they don't recognize that, they don't accept that their kid is bad.
They know that their child is bad, but they feel sorry because maybe the other parent is not there. That's what's going on with one of my little babies, whatever. Parents not there, so he's being babied at home.
Mm-hmm.
But when he comes here, he's turned into Lucifer and stuff. I'd be like, baby, come on. Just come on.
Is his hair curl? Is his hair curly? Is it knotted up?
Got no hair. I'm like,
because them little kids now, not to be like that, but you know what? The ones when you see their little hair, they turn to them little cuck snacks. You already know that they bad. There's no help for them. Just
No, that's the look now. That's the look. That's the look. Them little
peacock shots. Them the ones they born with them, and they just. I wouldn't date nobody that had a kid that had the peacock shots because it's not gonna work out because me and little Timmy we gonna be going back and forth like you ain't my mama. Your mama ain't your mama. You better hope your daddy. You need. So, little Timmy, he's sitting up here playing PS5 and all this. Like, aren't you just two? I'm like, so no. So be mindful of, just the kids. And listen, on a serious tip, if you know that you can't deal with a person's kids, don't even deal with them. Because the last thing you want to do is get with somebody and then you be mistreating a child. I can't stand when people mistreat kids. I can't stand it to a T. Now, I don't feel like it's wrong. You listen, I ain't my mama. I don't like you. Well, good. I don't like you either. That's not mistreatment. That's just we mutually on board. But to be in that but that would let me know this is not a relationship that I can be in because I would never want to, hurt any. And I'm like, maybe this kid need an exorcism and then take them and get some counseling or something because oftentimes when kids behave like that, it's something else going on. It's definitely something else going on behind the scenes. So if you feel like the relationship is worth it, maybe talk to that biological parent and, try to get that kid in some counseling and try to, figure out what's going on. And then a lot of times, kids want their parents to be together. So their job is to run off the new person. So if you strong, man, you hang in there. Hang on in there. But as for me, I'm not gonna be able to do it.
I'm good.
I'm gonna send you and your kids a postcard. I'm gonna send y'all Christmas gifts and stuff like that, well wishes y'all thought about, but I'm not gonna be able to do it.
It had me thinking even that whole little routine I went through with that oldest one last night and this morning, and I was like, "Hey, Paul," I was like, you gonna really I'm like thinking like, do I need to call this one and say, you know what, let me just be by my lonesome. I'm okay because I'm ready. I was ready to just. I wanted to take my little hammer and just bash everything in my room. I said, if I do, they're gonna come get me and put me on that 13th floor at the VA, and I don't want to be up there.
And see,
when I take my vacation, I go willingly.
Right. Don't send me there. I know. Listen, I know I got a trip coming.
Exactly.
I don't push me over.
And then if I go, I can't leave when I want to. Now that you calm down, because I posted a product that I got from Dwayne and everything because I ordered it.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And I really wanted to try it. I tried the cream, great. But I was in so much pain. I was like, well, I can use the cartridge, and be fine. Could not find any of my vapes. I could not find, and I knew where I put it at. So that tells me that one took it. The oldest one took it and thought that, oh, she'll forget. No, I don't.
So I was fuming. I was so angry. I said, "Would you calm down? Just calm down." Thank God my little kitty, she was there to, make me happy. And I was just like, just do homework. Let's just do homework. I was so fuming. I was so bad. And my mom had to rub my feet last night, put cream on my feet. I was in so much pain. And I was like, when 5 o'clock, I'm going to tell him about himself. Well, definitely, guys. Ooh, these kids, just definitely be mindful because, again, if you're dating someone and, I like to try to, I guess the introduction to the kids, I kind of want to get that out the way because if we don't like each other, then I don't want to go falling in love with the daddy. And now we got to break up because you got a demon. I don't want to meet your children. I do, because I need to see what I'm dealing with. I like to have all the cards laid on the table. So if it don't work out, then listen, you ugly anyway, and keep on about our business. But guys, listen, we're gonna take a short musical break. And when we return, we're gonna get into our next hot topic, and you don't want to miss it. So stay tuned. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. I get so lonely. Can't let no anybody love me. You are the one that lives in me, my dear. I should never feel lonely. You don't ever want to spend some time. I want your love in every drop of a dime. You see me calling, you should come running. Quit all that stalling, my body is calling. I got no time. This could be so perfect for one hell of a night. If you got a secret, easy to call in my club. I just wanna slow this on you, baby. We can turn it up. You had your chance, no second chances. This love I have is not for play. Under no circumstances, I'm in need of romancing. Pick up the phone 'cause I get so lonely. Can't let no anybody love me. You are the one that lives in me, my dear. I should never feel lonely. Lately your love has been on my mind. Obviously busy, I wanna unwind. Fantasizing, thinking about you. Anticipating is about to go down. Don't leave me waiting for you. I get so lonely. You had your chance, no second chances. This love I have is not for play. Under no circumstances, I'm in need of romancing. Pick up the phone 'cause I get Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time, on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me. Here you go. Go ahead with that terrible accent. And sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, sizzling, sexist, simply E. Author, actress, businesswoman, playwright, sex kid. Hey, E, how you doing? Better. Good. Well, guys, listen, sitting next to sizzling, sexist, simply E, we have huggable, handsome, smelling good Alvin Lay. Hey, Alvin, how you doing?
What's up, party people in the house?
All right. Oh my goodness, he smells so good. Like he smells really good.
I catch a little COVID, but
how you been doing?
I catch a little COVID.
I've been good. I cannot complain.
Good, it's good for you.
I've been tested. I got my test. I have proof.
I ain't got no test.
What kind of proof?
That I am negative.
What negative and what? Oh,
I probably got the COVID. I got the AIDS though. I ain't got that. I've been tested for that. Did that count?
So
It works for me.
what have you been up to, Alvin? It's good to see you today.
Just working. I was told that I was reinventing myself, so I guess I'm going through that process too as well.
Oh, who told you that? Oh, the spiritual reader.
No, my energy
Oh,
guy.
because we definitely gotta have that.
Nah, he just laid some stuff down on me that I got to work on. I was just like,
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
We have to have him back up in here because we didn't have
After
him.
I have my nervous breakdown, not before.
Because he'll probably send you there.
Yeah.
No.
He gonna help you out. But guys, listen, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the
J Spot.
Follow us on Twitter at
J Spot.
Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio, and Jay is spelled
Jaye
for all three. Guys, listen, our next hot topic. Now, see, this is some bull right here. This is what I have a problem with this online dating stuff. So this young woman, I guess she contacted the newspapers or something because of her experience. But she's a 23-year-old young lady. She met a young man on a dating I think they met on Facebook. And so they had been talking for a week. They both stayed in different states, So she ended up flying out there after talking for a week. She ended up flying out there to meet him. And when she got to the airport, she was calling him and she found out that he had blocked her number and he had deleted her off of his social media. So he never came.
Cause he thinks she was serious.
I'm like, oh my God.
He had a whole family.
What? But listen, she told him, I'm at the airport. I'm getting on the plane. Why? Oh my goodness.
He didn't think she was serious.
His lady stayed home from work that day.
His wife was at home from work that day.
Oh my goodness. So would you ever go out of...
What you should have did was send the J Spot his info. So that way I can find out for you, boo. Girl, is she? Oh, she went in the group. This is the social media stuff. Girl, you should listen, baby. Yeah, I hope you watching too. Come on into the room, like Tabitha say, and come on and let us know. I'll find him, baby, for you. I'll give you his address, honey. So next time you fly out, knock at the door. And I'll make sure I find you his business hours, what time he goes to work, and what time his wife is at home.
She
so you
said
can knock
she
at the whole door.
And cried. She was like, oh my God. She said she spent almost $400 on the flight.
That's a cheap flight, girl. Okay.
And just to get stood up. So my question is, would you go and meet somebody that would you agree to go, and meet someone out of state that you've met on social media and that you've only been talking to them for a week?
Hell no.
It was a week.
So that's
I'm
her.
just like,
I'm sorry, but
come on, that's
now you dumb. I'm sorry. You get that. That's what you get. That's
a week. Like, so would you go at your own expense? Like, if somebody wanted you to come to see them, would you go at your own expense, or would you have them to pay for you? What do you think, Alvin? Would you pay for somebody to come see you, or would you pay to go see them?
After a week,
both.
After a week.
Both.
After a week.
If I dug him, we connected, yeah. But what I plan on teaching my daughter is this.
Don't do that dumb stuff.
Make adult decisions and be ready to deal with the consequences of those decisions. And so, thank God.
Pull the mic up, Alvin.
Thank God I have the daughter that I have, because she's not with the monkey ball. That is not a trip she would make, so I'm happy. But again, we're talking about me. If we were cool, I would, but I would go with the understanding that something could go wrong, and I need to be prepared and financially ready to adjust when I land.
So my thing is, I guess the part that got me was it was a week that she met him, and then she's crying at the, like, how many feelings can you have for him in a week? Like, I probably would have been seeing some foul stuff, but I don't know if would it have warranted some tears? And plus, I'm like you said, Alvin,
that was probably anger. I don't think it was about her. Tears were about him. I think she was upset because
she was hurt because he blocked her.
In that but all of that is a part of it. I think she was just hot, and her emotions came out because she just went through everything that she went through in order to be there to meet this guy, and he left her hanging.
See, first of all, so it's some rules for meeting people online that, I mean, I just think that you should know. First of all, going out of state to meet somebody, I just think that that's, you're taking a huge, huge risk because, I mean, thankfully he did stand her up because it's like, what if you had a a mass? It's like, it's so, I don't know, them long distance online relationships. I don't know, like I got to be able to see you locally and watch you. And then, if you got to go back somewhere, then I'm still watch you. And at this point, I'm just watching and not saying nothing. I'm just building a case, and then I'm like, all right, well, we out of here. But as far as taking a flight or taking a bus or a train or whatever, guys, be mindful of doing that. We have Adrian. She's saying, shaking my head. I heard that story today. So sad. It is sad. And I'm like, did she even tell any of her girlfriends?
She told her friends. They was like, girl, don't do that dumb stuff. And she just was proving them wrong because no, he probably felt like me. That's my soulmate. I can feel it.
Nah.
Boy, she must have been in her 30s. So, girl, I say that crap. That's a soulmate. I just know it. Because we connected. And when I thought of him, he called me. And I knew. And when I looked at a particular number on the clock, he called me. And I just knew it. So,
Lord have mercy. You and your soulmates. But you know what? See, I think that you have the right intentions. Like, you have good intentions. And I think that just the wrong people sometimes pick up on that. And since your intentions are soulmate-ish and you looking and desiring soulmate, these clowns, just come, being dressed up as soulmates. So it's like, I guess that's what kind of you gotta definitely be mindful of that. But just be mindful of meeting these people online. And if you are meeting online, again, definitely, you just gotta play the odds, just weigh your options as far as going and meet somebody. But I personally think that a week is just way too soon. A week is not enough time for you to establish some type of pattern of talking to them. You gotta see. I mean, I would say at least 3 months, because within 3 months, you're going to see how many times have you called them and they didn't call you back. How many times have they missed? See, you start putting stuff like that together to kind of figure out what's going on in their personal life. You got to figure out the schedule. Or are y'all only able to talk in the morning when they on their way to work and then you don't hear from them the next morning? Well, because he's at home now with his family. It's dinner time. He can't answer the phone. So if you call him at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, or when he get off of work at 7 o'clock, he never can answer. I didn't hear the phone ring. I had the phone. See all that's that bull junkie right there. So within a week, you don't have enough time to compile the evidence that you need to make a rational decision on if this is a trip that you should probably make. Because had you gave it a little bit more time, then you would have saw some stuff. You would have been through some stuff. He may be ugly. One of the times if y'all face chatted,
he wasn't ugly, not to her.
He could have been ugly. See, he was just having a good week. He had a fresh haircut.
His looks and his conversation was at least worth $400. That's what she spent to get there.
But see, that was just temporary. Because, listen, with these brothers, they go into the barbershop and they getting that spray. That spray lasts 2 or 3 days.
But
that
you can look at that stuff and see that.
Not
that blending.
Not the ones that's doing it right. You can't.
What we're not going to do is disperse the name of Beijing. That's what we're not going to do.
Right.
Thank the Lord I have not had to go visit.
But
Beijing
some brothers that use it though, don't you? See,
that's why I laughed a little bit.
I'm getting ready for the day. I got to go see the guy with the wig, so he can put me some dreads in, and I can still hold on. So we're not going to disperse the name.
So that's why you have to wait at least I say at least 2 to 3 months. You got to talk to them and see them on, so that you can see how they look. Because again, that fresh haircut, that fresh hairdo, she made all up,
early in the morning and stuff with the
like, man, she look good, man. Shorty got it going. No, Shorty is definitely looking like bro 5 days a week. So this was just the day you done seen her dressed up one time, and now that was it because it was the weekend. Because you only known each other for 7 days. So you hit her up on whatever the Snapchat was, and y'all talked that day. So that was Saturday night. So she, of course, she cute. Everybody cute on Saturday night. Now Sunday, y'all just texting and talking. Monday
she looked
texting.
back to regular.
So back regular. And for him too. That line was fresh on Friday. Come Monday, he done went to the gym and trying to work out or call himself trying to work out. Now he's sweating. Now all that, it's all in his eyes. You wonder, I ain't know he smoked weed. Nah, honey, that's just the paint that they had, on his hair. It's coming, it made his eyes red. So, that's how it is. So it has to be more than 7 days. I'm just saying, just so to get to know somebody. So guys, listen, we got LaJuan, he's saying they call them trolls. Who trolls? Who trolling? Adrian, she said, I don't think she knew what he looked like. She didn't know. She really did not know. She thought she knew, but he tricked her. He done catfished her and all this. But then again,
are you saying she saw him after the fact and he didn't look the same?
She'd never seen him.
And see,
and not real life.
She made it out that way.
Okay.
He blocked her when she got off the airport
and called him to say boo. It was blocked.
That could have been the case.
But you know what? And then now here's another twist to that. Now I just thought about it. She was 23. These young folks, he was just trying to hit it and quit. So you definitely
think she was sick. She was like, yeah, I'm coming out that way.
What do you think she was going to do?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She was looking for love.
Have you had a conversation with a young adult these days? Yeah, especially
them
young
folks,
ladies.
Yeah, that's 20.
They truly believe Rihanna when she told them they were savages. Because these young ladies are out here taking soul.
Oh Lord, have mercy!
They either taking a check or they taking a soul. These young ladies are not out here playing.
So that 3 to 6 months, that's for the 30 plus people, because we do our research. These other folks, they not looking for nothing long term. She was just going down there just to get knocked off, and then she was
for some love,
and then she was gonna come back home. He was gonna whop her the whole weekend, and they was gonna get in an entanglement. Then he was gonna send her back on Sunday. So unfortunately, it did not work out. But guys, listen, the next hot topic. Now, this is something I don't know. This is crazy. So a married couple, they own a home, and so they have been married for 7 years. So the husband gets another house, and he puts his mother's name on the deed. And the wife is wondering, like, okay, what's that all about? Should she be upset about him putting his mother's name on the other deed when they already have a house? What do you guys think? Is there some foul play going on behind that?
I mean, you really can't. Well,
because they already have a house.
But I don't even think legally he can really do that, because if she's doing it while they're married, it's not like it was gifted to him from the mother, whatever. It was him purchasing this property during their marriage and stuff. And
but the deed shows the deed is the ownership, though. So
she got to get over it,
right? Because I'm not really sure how you can even in a will. I mean
that's gonna go to her.
That's the mother's house.
Mama, so she just gotta get over it.
So I'm like, so is that meaning, like, would you as a wife be offended?
No, I'd be happy you looking out for your mama. Hopefully it's for your mama, not your little side chick. Just love,
But who was the house for them?
They didn't say. It just said that he deeded it to his mother. He bought another house and he put his mom's name on the deed. But they already have a house that they living in. So
it's some homestead rights in there somewhere. So he leaving her.
See, and that's
he getting rid of her soon.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
If he bought it, then put it in his mom's name, that's where the problem's going to be. But if he bought it in his mom's name, he's leaving.
Yeah, he's leaving her, and make sure that he's secure.
Either way, he leaving.
He leaving. Or he to talk to his mama like, listen, Mom, I know you can't stand. Brenda, I'm dating Courtney right now. She the one, Mama. You love Courtney. I'm gonna get this house, put in your name. It's for me and Courtney. Okay, baby, because we're gonna do something for our children. That's my baby. We scared. Your mamas are scared. Listen to us.
They used to be loyal back in the day.
Hey, Lord, they like, that's my child. I know he a low down, dirty bastard, but that's my child. I love him. I got these stretch marks for that baby. So I'm gonna look out for him. And then
his mother probably don't even know about it.
She know about it.
Because her name isn't.
She know about it.
You put a piece of property on anybody.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can. Your mama, she know. That's her
Mamas
boy.
know
That's her
every-
son.
mamas know
she
everything.
know he got another lady, and the other lady about to get
But
ready
she
to
know
move
about
in.
that
Like,
property
listen now,
too.
listen now,
She
Ricky.
probably
I done
was the one that
told you.
suggested it.
I'm not trying to get caught in all your mess, Ricky. Now you need to sort this out, cause don't have Brenda over here calling me, and you still over here running around with Ronnie. Don't listen. You need
Now,
to
mama,
sort that
now,
out.
mama, you don't even like her.
You need to
You don't
sort
even
that
like
out.
my
I
wife.
can't be in the middle of all this now. I'm getting too old for this.
You won't even let my wife come over for
Cause
Thanksgiving
I don't
dinner.
like. I told you
Mind
not
your
to
business,
marry.
mama.
I told you not to marry.
And see, that's
See,
that's
that's
how
the-
it goes. You know I don't like her. But see, that's scenario one. Then you got the scenario where, listen, Mom, I'm gonna need you to go. I'm gonna put this house in your name. So me and Brenda can go ahead and do this thing. And when I divorce, Sydney over here.
Well,
we're
why you
good.
just don't tell her?
Mom, don't she evil.
But I told you not to marry her anyway, so I don't. That's it.
No,
I
I
can't.
can't. Because mama's coming. You got the mamas that's gonna side with their child regardless. Your child will be just wrong.
Jimmy,
as
just hurry
hell.
up and just hurry up and fix it and make it right. Because they look at the church. They don't. I'm on the mother's board and I can't have them. Miss Irene.
I'm a divorce.
That's all they do.
Now, mama, I'm just gonna
Irene,
make another
Catherine, all they
donation
do
in
is
the
come.
collection plate, mama. I'm making another donation in the collection
what
plate.
I'm talking
Everything gonna be
All
all
right.
right.
Well, make
Just
sure
gonna
you
in
just
your
put
name.
it. Just make sure you put my name on there too. Just because I want a
Your
piece of
name
us.
gonna be on the check too.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, now that it's shut, wait, how much you putting in there? Just so you got to put enough because you're gonna have Miss Irene talking, you're gonna have Miss
At this
Catherine
point,
talking.
mama, I need you to keep your mouth quiet. So let me know what the number is, so we don't have no problems later.
Son, that's why I love you. I know,
See?
I did. I know I did right. Your daddy wasn't much. I saw him running around behind there.
Don't
But
mention that man. Don't mention that man.
Well, guys, listen. When you have a situation like that, I personally, I would do a little. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna do a little investigation. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on. I'm not gonna jump to any conclusions until I have a solid case stacked before me, and then that's when I will go and present the information. But I guess it wasn't really any foul dealings because why would he tell her? Like if he was doing anything foul, because you can buy a house and nobody would know.
That's a threat. I told your ass I was gonna buy this house, didn't I? Now I bought the house. Keep on acting up.
Well, turn that Google's map on his phone and figure out where he at. If he, making these detours, if it's taking 55 minutes to get home, and he got home in 57 minutes, girl, he done stopped by that house. So you need to definitely figure out what he got going on and why he got it going on. But in that situation, like, just keep all eyes open and just keep your options open and listen. If this how we rolling, then you need to prepare yourself on what you're gonna do if that's what you suspect. But there could be so many different reasons. I mean, he may be sick and he may want to leave his mother a house. He may be terminally ill and he's like, you know
do
what?
Not believe
I want to leave
the statements that are coming out of your mouth.
No, I don't, but I just want to put a spin to it. He may be terminally ill and he's like, you know what? I got to take care of my mama. Wife, you got this house. You got all the policies and all this and that. I got to take care of my mama. I got to make sure my mama going to be straight.
So you're going to give her a house. Now, she older than you. So you about 40 something. Your mama's got to give her 20 years. So she about 70. So you're going to put your mother in a house. And now she got all this responsibility to handle with at the house at 70 years old.
Because you're getting ready to check out. So you want to make sure. So she
better off just saying, Mama, I left you a piece of rental property.
They didn't put enough information in the story.
They want you to draw your
get a
own
clear
speculation.
understanding as to what
I
his
think he
plans
was sick.
were.
Yeah, he was sick.
I think he was sick of
his wife.
There could have been some loan programs he was taking advantage of. There could have been some grants he was taking advantage
his wife
of.
For the tax
So there was
write-off.
probably some shelters there that
Right. And she probably had, had bad credit, and he didn't want to put it in her name because he didn't want the people to comment. She may have a
It's
restitution.
clear he doesn't trust his wife.
Hey, there you go. He was sick of.
Yeah, I would.
And it could very well be financial. So
see, now as the wife, now I already know how I'm set up with being in my feelings. I would have totally, wholeheartedly been in my feelings. Like there's no scenario that unless there's nothing because my name ain't on it. There's nothing that he can say that will make me feel okay with that will keep me from being in my feelings. Like, I'm just in my feelings, hands down. I'm in my feelings now. Am I gonna probably have an attitude? It depends on what his explanation is. But the moment I find out about that house and her, I'm be sitting up there like this, like, yes, indeed. I'm like, all right, this some bull junk right here. Rocking back and forth, just like, oh, okay, so I go through all of this.
He was prepared for it.
He was prepared to leave it.
If she found out, he was prepared for it. So he gave her the information that she needed in order to calm down and mind her business.
So she just doesn't listen, beloved. Watch and watch carefully. You got to watch. You just got to keep watching, guys. Listen, we're going to take a short musical break. Sure. And when we return, we're going to get into our another hot topic, guys. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to the Jaye Spot.
I don't know what you did it right. Girl, you make it look so easy. Everywhere you go, heads turning left and right. Can't say you were down, you're a 20-piece. Cause girl, you're all the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Put your hair done, nail done. When you put that clothes on, why you gotta look so good, good. With your hair done, nails done. When you put that clothes on, why you gotta look so good? I can look into your not an average chick. You're shutting it down everywhere you go. Girl, I want you as bad as I want a check. Cause you're sexy from head to toe. Girl, you're all the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Yeah, nails done. When you put your clothes on, why you gotta look so good? It's something about you. When you put your clothes on, when you're waking up straight out of bed, girl, why you gotta look so good? Or when you're at the job just taking a break, girl, why you gotta look so good? In the club, turn up, why you gotta look so good? On the dance floor, giving more, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Girl, you know you be killing them when you be getting them wrong one and all. Why you gotta look so good? Put your hair down and your nails down. When you put the clothes on, why you gotta look so good? Girl, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good?
Welcome back to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time, on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jaye, and sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, sizzling, sexy, simply actress, businesswoman, playwright, sex kitten. Hey, E, how you doing?
Great.
You sound like it too. Like, I feel all the greatness just oozing up out of you, and that is just magnificent. Great. Now, sitting next to Great Simply E, we have our guest for tonight. We have huggable, handsome, smelling good, Alvin Lay. Hey, Alvin, how you doing?
What's happening?
Good. we are so glad that you decided to join us this evening.
I got an opportunity to stop by. So
Oh, well, we
say hi.
appreciate that. Well, guys, listen, want to thank you so much also for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio, and Jay is spelled
Jaye
for all three. Guys, our next hot topic. Now, I've dealt with. Let me say this is some bull right here. But have you ever dealt with someone, been in a relationship with someone that was not only cheap, they were super cheap. Like you could squeeze the lemon peel, the lemon seed right up out of them quicker than you can get $1 out of them.
No.
Have you ever dealt with somebody that was just super cheap?
No.
Does being broke count?
No, I think it's a different. You just ain't got it. But being
they didn't
cheap,
have it.
Now cheap is they just cheap. They got it and they just don't want to spend it.
So you're saying cheap was force placed on them by the finance.
Man, have you ever dealt with somebody that was cheap?
Mm-mm.
You haven't?
Mm-mm. I mean, the guy that I'm talking to now, he said he was cheap or frugal. I said, frugal, but I'm like, I can find ways, I can find things to get around that. But you just to be cheap just because you're just cheap. Nah, I've never dealt with that.
Yeah, buddy. I have. Now I'm not the most expensive person, but I'm just
like that shrimp. You want to share a shrimp basket?
Man, I don't.
Because there's 10 little shrimp up in there. Y'all can split it.
No, I wanted the whole. Let me tell you, it was this one brother. Let me tell you, this brother. I heard the air leave up out of him when I placed the order. So we went to the shrimp place and they only accept cash. And so prior to getting there, he's like, should I get some, how much should I give? Do you think $20 would be okay? And I'm saying to myself now, this is not our first time coming to this shrimp place.
So you are, pound.
So right, so clearly I'm like, he already knows how much the food costs. So it's just like, I'm like, I didn't even waste my time because I'm like, clearly this may be.
You should have snapped off then.
No, because I thought that maybe this was he's talking to himself moment, because I talk to myself sometimes. So I ask myself questions, because clearly that was not a question that you asked a 30 plus woman. Is should I just get $20? I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, so 30 plus times 2 plus. That's what the age is. That's what it is. I'm trying to get my senior card.
Fine like wine.
So when he got I didn't go into him. He went in and got went into the ATM or whatever. So I didn't think nothing of it. So we get into the restaurant and he was like, go ahead and place your order. So I went ahead and placed my order. And so I heard the air literally seep out of his body. I'm just like, wait a minute. I mean, the it was like $17.99 or something like that. And so don't let me ask for something to drink. I was like, well, can I get a juice? Some places do juices they have like
$2 on it.
$2-3.
Man, we're like, dang. Hey, Lisa.
So I ordered just the shrimp and something to drink. And it's like, how the air seeps out of a balloon? That's what happened to him. So, I stepped to the side so that he can place his order. This client ordered an order of French.
That's all you left. All I got is $2 left. All I got is $2 left. I guess I'm gonna get the fries and we go share this basket.
Order of French fries. I'm just like, so you really did only take out. I'm like, you really did only take out $20. So I'm just like, okay.
See, what you don't understand is.
Help me.
It was late in the day, so the bank closed.
No way. He went to the ATM. He got this $20 on purpose.
The bank was closed. He only had $39.95 in the bank, and most ATMs only let you take out a $20 income. So he pulled the 20 out. He was like, the order gonna be 10, mine gonna be 10. It's gonna be fly.
First of all, I'm not. My coffee costs almost $10, so I'm trying to figure out where you going with this. And like I said, we have been out before. I am not the person that's trying to.
This young man is not cultured.
Yeah, obviously he wasn't. So to make it even better and how I helped his whole spirit out. So you know how people, because the restaurant was really far from where I live. So what I did, me being me, I tucked my bag of my shrimp and I put it in my purse. You think I was gonna eat in the car while we were?
You ain't sharing no shrimp with him.
No, I did not. No, I did not. So
He's gonna share his fries with you.
wait, no. So then we get to the house. So you know now he's making.
We ain't talking about this stuff. He'll be going out with you for a meal.
Do you understand the Lady in the Tramp Disney moment that you missed? That could have been a moment.
Y'all could have been sharing.
The two of you could have had a French fry,
and
y'all could have chewed until your lips connected.
So let me say, so what ended up happening? So when he ended up dropping me off at home, so you know he got out. So he still had his gentleman quality, y'all. So he walked me up to the door. Like, okay, have a good night. He was like, can I get them fries?
No.
Wait,
hold on. You cuffed the fries too?
You got the whole bag. It's not gonna have purse.
You cuffed the fries as well.
So he took I'm like, so I dug in the bag and I gave him the fries. So I got some shrimp crumbs on my hands. So I'm licking my fingers. I bet he's like, so she ain't even gonna ask me, do I want one? No, I'm not gonna ask you because I'm like, I'm so sick of you doing this. So needless to say.
Wait, so he's done this before?
No, not to this magnitude, but he has gone to cheap places. And I'm like, okay.
So this is your fault.
Maybe.
He showed you who he was before on numerous occasions.
So here's the thing. He thought that he was doing something nice, and then I had to let him know, like, this is not my favorite place. Like, I like the French fries here, but this is not, I don't consider this a nice date. Like, my son takes me here, so I don't consider this spot a nice spot.
No, you knew he was cheap when he bought you that necklace.
Oh, man.
You
know what? You are right. That necklace came before the shrimp. You are absolutely right. So yeah, so I do.
But it was a token.
No, he could have kept that.
You know those necklaces that are like two-toned or whatever, and they're like heavy, they're linked or whatever.
No, I don't.
They're these women necklaces. They're linked. They're two-toned. They're really heavy, right?
No.
It was a mess, Alvin. It was her.
Feel how like this little cheap chain is.
It was a mess.
That's how, and it decided to turn and tarnish. So you see, this is Lacoste jersey. This was her Christmas gift.
I'm just like.
How long had the two of you known each
other? A year. A year. So I mean, so my thing is,
that gift.
That was the one.
That gift was discipline. That gift.
What I gave you gangrene
was him reprimanding you for not being the woman that he needed you to be over the last 12 months.
Right. Well, you know what?
In order to let you know what place
you are absolutely right. And so that shrimp had just did it in. And like I say, I am not an extravagant person. You ain't got, but come on, you're gonna have to $20. Listen, you're gonna have to come better than that. And I'm like, after that. It just put me off. Like, I'm just like, you need somebody more of your speed, like somebody that's more. No, I wasn't, and plus it was just some other issues that just.
So you let him know it was you and not him.
No, I did. I just let him know that he needs to find somebody that, would appreciate, that want to do nice sharing things like that, because sometimes I just get in my ways where it's just all about me clearly. And I'm not trying to hear nothing that you got to say. So you got to be able to take me in my as Adina Howard would say, but my ups and downs. Yeah, you got to take my ups and my downs. Yes, I do. I love Adina Howard. Yes, shout out to Adina Howard. But yeah, it was just like that. The cheapness. It was just too. It was too much for me. But you know what? That helps me curtail into our final hot topic. Now, Alvin, I'm glad you're here because this is especially. And this question is specifically for the fellas, but I'm going to flip it for the women as well. But as a man and as a general rule, and I want you to spill the tea because you know how sometimes you will get like, that's man code.
All open. I'm all
that's
open.
Man code.
Man code has been left outside if you ask me anything.
So do men tend to treat women that they consider pretty, do they tend to treat them better than they treat a woman that they don't feel is as pretty? So do men treat women better if she's really pretty? You treat her so well versus a woman that you don't really consider pretty. She like, all right, you may let the door close and in the face that you didn't realize she was behind you. But if it was a pretty woman and you don't care if it's blizzard and rain, you're gonna stand there and hold the door till she get in. Yeah. Do men, as a general rule, do they treat prettier women better?
Wait, hold on, that signal went off. This might be a guy code situation.
Do fellas?
We say. I thought that was a guy code situation.
Do men treat prettier women better than, let's say, average? Because I don't want to say ugly looking women, but average or not that appealing to them. Do they tend to treat prettier women better?
That's a difficult question to answer because I believe there's a certain type of man whose mother some years ago pulled him off the teat a little too soon before he got its full and was ready to go out in the world and fend for himself. And he's holding on to a couple of issues regarding that situation that now he's going to displace onto other women. And so he's going to find a reason to be abusive towards a woman and treat her differently. Not all men. I'll talk about me.
Now you
I'll talk about me in this space. No, I'll talk about me in this space.
I ain't 85 days.
It's hard because not all men are not a monolith. So we can't.
But as a general rule of thumb,
we can't cast that on me. Now, I'll talk about me.
It's that bull.
Anyone that knows me knows that I have an affinity for a voluptuous, juicy woman.
Yeah, thick girl, baby. Say you like a steak. Hello.
In my younger years, there was a period of time where, in my mind, that was not appropriate for public consumption.
No, it wasn't. But now.
And so, in secret, I would treat a woman a certain way, other than I would publicly.
Right.
So that people wouldn't think that I had feelings for a particular type of woman.
Right. That BBW at night.
And so, no, hey, I'm a grown man.
Mm-hmm, yeah. It's like, baby, I'm a man now, baby.
And so I'm
a grown man.
Will I ever hide my affinity for any type of woman that I'm attracted to? I believe in public displays of affection, but also because, and I think this is what happens with a lot of men. I grew up in a home where affection was a scarcity. And so I'm not going to, it's actually still to this day something that I have to think about in regards to showing affection. And so if a man is not showing any type of woman, it has nothing to do with her beauty. What's for one man may not be for another. And everyone is somewhere loving on someone.
And Alvin, I always love your political answers, because this is some bull junk. This is straight bull. Because listen, if
I even talked about myself.
If you see, and you talked about it we're not talking about no relationship capacity. We're not talking about that at all.
I got a homeboy who loves women who are built like little boys, at least in my mind, because they're very thin, very skinny. No protrusions in the chest area or the rear area. Yeah, and it's like you will go somewhere with this young lady publicly so people can see you and he will love her.
But you done flipped the whole as if the average man saw a voluptuous built woman and they got these curves, they buying the butts. Now you're not talking about
actually was mine. I would say it publicly. I would climb to the highest mountain.
How much it cost?
Your beautiful,
so
big, womanly self. I love it.
And he sees a woman, and then he sees two women are coming out the store at the same time. One is very attractive, the other one is not. So they're both kind of struggling with their grocery bags. Who is he going to help?
Either the first one that comes or the one that appeases him the best.
The prettier one. The one that he feels is pretty.
Now,
That's the one.
It's this lesbian, right? And I love her.
No.
She's so hilarious, right? And her girlfriend, they was flying out from New York to London or whatever. So her girlfriend packs all these bags, and so when they get to the airport, this big old guy was like, he saw the pretty girl, was like, well, I'm gonna help your bags out. And the lesbian, she's dressed like a boy. She was like, wait a minute, I'm a whole chick too. You grabbing her bags, you can grab my bags too, or whatever. She was like, I'm a chick. So you all will go to that pretty chick before you will go to that boyish looking chick or whatever she's supposed to be, or the all right looking girl. You gonna go for A before you gonna go to B, and help out A before you help out B.
And people do treat you.
To.
Only time you gonna help out B if she reminds you of your mama.
Listen, people, and it's like, people treat you differently if they feel that you're pretty versus like I come outside dressed up.
It depends on what you're attracted to.
Right, but like
I've seen now you have certain men who go by a certain esteem where they have to be presentable in a certain way, and they think that woman should, or a woman, any woman should compliment them in a certain way. And so if they don't look a certain way, no, they're not going to treat that woman the way they would in public areas. But that's not to say that he will not lay with her when.
Of course they gonna lay with her. Of course, they're not gonna turn down the thing.
That is just a section of men. That's not all men.
Right, but most men, if you can continue to get it, and she ain't running her pothole, and she ain't complaining, and you like it, you gonna continue to get it with no strings attached. You like, shoot, if she let me get it, and I ain't gotta claim her, and I ain't gotta do all of this other stuff, I'm good. I'm gonna keep hitting it. I'm gonna keep tapping it.
And then you have men who are still in a childish mindset, who think superficially, that thinks that they can't do that. They can't love what they love publicly. But again, that is a certain type of person who's probably dealing with trauma in their life. That's not all men. Like I said, I'm not the person I used to be 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or even 20 years ago. And so what I did as a young person, I don't have those hangups now where I feel like I have to be afraid to be who I am publicly.
I love that. See, Alvin, that's one thing I really respect about you. Now,
then let's flip it. Would you, if a butt ugly looking dude came up to you?
He missing a tooth. He is definitely missing a tooth.
And then a handsome guy came up to you and offered to open up your door or buy you dinner. The butt ugly guy was like, I really want to take you out. Blah, blah, blah. And the handsome guy was like, I would really love to take you out. Whoa.
I'm gonna, off face value, I'm going with the handsome dude.
Wait, hold on. But hold on.
And you know what? I can give you an even more concise thing. And it took that one that I gave birth, to point it out. Even when and y'all gotta be honest, even when you DMing somebody and they don't know you, if they not really pleasing on it, I'm like, what the heck? What the hell you?
Okay, but in all fairness to you, that just speaks to one you're attracted to and one you're not. But let's twist this a little bit.
But it also reflects how I'm gonna respond.
Of course. You're attracted to one person.
If he's looking like oogly moogly and he like, good morning, queen, I'm not saying nothing. But if he's decent looking, I'm gonna respond. So I had a little situation where, I had some, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to figure out. So he's just coming hard. Like, I'm like, okay. And I was not in a good mood either that day. So let's just say I kind of lit into him because I'm like, okay, this is not that. And he's like, yeah, I see that you flirt. I don't flirt. I'm working. What the heck are you talking about?
You flirting.
So he's talking about some so you want to come over my house?
I'm gonna go with house, Jaye.
And that's when no holds bar.
You gonna go to this house?
That's when it came off, and I'm just like, because if he was, handsome, I could have responded,
His mama think he handsome.
She probably the only
No,
one.
she don't.
I'm
She
like,
know.
ooh, that's ugly.
He looked just like his dad.
So I'm just like not
that.
saying it like that, but I'm like, come on now, like, and then the stuff that he was saying, I guess it was the stuff that he was saying and the way I felt like he looked is what just agitated me. I'm just like, okay, come on, this don't even for real in real life, like this conversation that you're having with me does not even make sense. I'm not saying that I'm not on Jaye's spot, I am. On my island, I have my own island, and that's where I'm at. So if you don't think you the ish, then who gonna think you the ish? He could give some good head. And we don't even see it. Don't even get past that point because it's like he had it where it was still there, but it would dangle like it was. You should have just reached in and just snatched it out.
Was it dangling or was it just enough?
You should just no. It was like it was dang, but it was there. But then it's like he'll be talking and then it'll drop down, drop down and you'll see and it was the front too. So I'm just like, well,
okay, so we can't do teeth, but not the most attractive man.
Now I've dated some non-attractive men that were really like good, like his personality
good
just
person.
caught me off. Like cool people. So I've dealt with guys that women would feel like are super attractive, and then guys that people
that's been my plight in life.
They're not attractive.
I've had to go off purely my personality just because my looks have not been totally where women.
Oh, whatever, like. Alvin. No. So, but you know what? Like I said, but he was like the best person ever. Like now, I can't say I've done that too many times because he was just a rare breed. But as a general rule of thumb, publicly, we was rocking out. I mean, like, cause he dressed like his personality, like he was just, huh? No. But like I say, all as a general rule, like it has to be something.
Okay, because these days you can buy teeth.
You can buy it.
So
see,
if his personality was dope, like he was a cool person, y'all like. It never jumped off in the past that you two were talking. But you got to know this person over time. And the only thing was the tooth issue. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might have been in a space where no one ever had the courage to say, hey, man, they selling teeth for cheap.
I don't understand how you not look in the mirror but he was aware of it and he was self-conscious about it because he was always
made him feel bad because he thought he had a nice little woman on the side now.
He trying to talk to her, and he was like, "Hey, because you have
okay." I'm not all the way there. I haven't always been, I ain't always there. So I'm not gonna. I stay in my lane. I don't try to be all deep in.
Probably crying right now, hurting himself. Probably.
My son know who I am, and he always tells me, I got to do better because he done caught me in action. He just grabbed my arm like this. He's like, "Come on, see, you just not gonna. You just not gonna do right." He was like, "Did you really have to, because he done caught me a couple of times. I be, thinking that he and I look up, I'm like, oh, he's like, you know what? You act if you feel like a person is, generally, decent, then you're gonna treat them better and you're gonna give them the attention. But again, I love Alvin's political, he always say the right thing, there ain't nobody
man
but the devil.
Had one eyeball that was missing. But it still could focus on you. Why? What the problem?
You're not gonna be able to do it. You're gonna have to have both eyeballs.
Because he see. Well, he don't see. He see all the way that you is the one.
They're gonna have to both focus. They're gonna have to both focus at the same time. Mm-hmm. But guys, listen, we're gonna go ahead and get into our topic for tonight. Okay. So tonight we're talking about loyalty. Why many want it and few give it. So everybody is talking. Everybody wants loyalty. And you know what? I'm discovering that these folks that want all this loyalty, they really don't have a loyal bone in their body. They really don't. So, how important is loyalty and trust in a relationship? How important is it to you?
As important as a Black woman in her weave. It's very important. Oh, very important.
What about for you, Alvin? How important is loyalty and trust in a relationship?
It's very important. If I can't trust you, I cannot be with you. If I have to sleep with one eye open, you might as well get out, because I will shoot you.
Yes.
Off a misunderstanding.
See, that's what I'm saying right there. When you bring that shotgun out, you know it's real. So now listen, loyalty and trust are important aspects of any relationship, and that's whether it be a personal relationship or a romantic relationship. So now when you're dealing with trust, now trust is the reliance on the integrity, strength of a person or a thing. So it means that I'm relying, if I'm trusting you, I'm saying I'm putting my trust in you, I'm relying on you to do what you said you was gonna do, and I'm relying on you to be who you said that you were. And a lot of people are not that. A lot of people get that screwed up. You present someone else, you come at somebody else, and
They're representative.
And then it's like you throw it off track. And then when you deal with loyalty, loyalty is faithfulness or devotion to someone or something. So again, we want people to be loyal to us. We want people to trust us. But then we do things that make them question, well, wait a minute, you talking all this big crap. Oh, I'm this upstanding woman, I'm this upstanding man, I don't do this. But you's a whole lie.
A whole,
Like a
whole
whole lie and then some behind it. So, do you have to trust someone to be in love with them?
Yeah.
What about you, Alvin? Do you have to trust someone to be in love with them?
Look at it. Look at it.
No, I love people I wouldn't trust.
No, in love.
In love.
In love, not love.
Do you
not
have to
love.
trust someone
in
to
love,
be in
like,
love with them? I love you, baby.
Well, everyone knows I'm a sucker for love, so I am probably guilty.
So being in love with someone and you don't trust them.
She can't leave the house, but I love her.
That makes sense. Makes sense. Listen, you know what? And now that he put it like that, I'm
go
like,
outside if you want to.
It's gonna be a misunderstanding out here. You think COVID running rapid in 2020? Let me show you what. Listen, COVID ain't got nothing on what's gonna happen. Go out that door. But again, I guess that does make sense because there are a lot of people, especially when you're looking at the court shows and stuff. You love them, but you don't trust them because if you trusted them, you wouldn't be putting a tracking device on their phones and their cars. You wouldn't be in their social media and all this. You wouldn't be showing up on the job and all of this crazy ish. So it definitely is. But can you remain in a relationship if there is no loyalty or if there is no trust? Can you remain in that relationship?
No.
What about you, Alvin? I know you come from a different cloth because you remain.
Ain't nobody going nowhere. You here, I'm here, we here. Ain't nobody going nowhere.
We together. You see what I got tattooed on my neck? Together.
Nah, I'm not tattooing
I'm
nobody's
leaving.
name. My other lady is not gonna like that.
I'm leaving. I'm not going.
This her side.
I'm not
and
gonna
this
be
her
able to do
side.
this.
You got both sides. You got the front, the side, and you got the back right there.
I'm not gonna want to stay because I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to sleep because I'm gonna be constantly sit up here thinking about all of this stuff that I done found. I done put all these because I turn it to Inspector Gadget sometimes, and it's like, I start putting two and two together, and I'm just like, okay, see, now you sitting up here telling me this bullish, but like I'm buying it because I'm not saying anything about it. Like I remember this guy I used to talk to, and I came over his house one day, and so I went to the bathroom just like I always do, normally do, go to the bathroom, whatever, and washing my hands, throw the napkin, whatever away. So a condom wrapper in the bathroom.
Oh, you just get nosy.
Well, no, I wasn't, but I felt like that was divine intervention. Listen, my intuition and divine intervention always works out on my behalf. So yes, I have been a snooper in the past, but I wasn't snooping. It's like, okay, I know we ain't doing that. I'm like, okay. So I said, you know what? Let me just see how long this lie gonna be. How long is this?
Could you trust him before you saw the condom?
Yes.
So you had no reason to not trust him just because you saw a condom.
Yes, I did. It was a used condom in his bathroom.
He
and
probably
he
probably could have been masturbating and not want to get anything on the sheets. You never know.
That's a good one. But why is it in the bathroom? And he had a garbage can in his room. But yeah.
Because you go to the bathroom to flush the condom down.
No, but like I say, so I chilled. You know, I was like Orange Juice Jones. I chilled. You know, so I sat on back, and I let the next incident happen. So go over one day. And it's not like I'm just coming over, like you're not inviting me over, like I'm invited, come over. So go, he's like, you want something to drink? Yeah, get some juice, water, whatever. So we go into the kitchen. And again, Inspector Gadget. But I wasn't snooping. It's just like stuff just hits you there. So I'm looking like, okay, so there were 2 wine glasses in the sink. Again, he lives alone, so now you would be like, okay, well,
he didn't feel like getting washing out that glass. He just wanted to get a new glass and drink some wine.
Mm-hmm. That's until you see this stain on it.
Sometimes he was.
I know.
His mom
I know.
Did you see the stain?
Yes, I did.
He brought his mama's lipstick and stuff.
Yes, I did. And so from that point, I'm just like, okay.
But why didn't you discuss it with him?
Because so you can lie. I'm not trying to stay in those situations. So it's like, why am I going to say something about it when you're not going to do anything but lie about it? And I'm like this. When you confront
Had he lied to you before?
No.
See?
But see, it all came out in the end because he did lie, and ultimately I did find him cheating. So all of my clues.
So basically, you're saying he just didn't care about you. He didn't care enough about you to hide.
Maybe he did. I mean, maybe he didn't. He thought he was hiding because he didn't let me in. He didn't let me in the house. Match. I don't know why it goes like this. Sorry, guys. Oh, they can see all my boobies. Yeah, maybe he didn't. I don't know. But like I said, he didn't open the door when I found out. And, the whole thing was, at the end of the day, he was just like, well, I thought, I was scared to let you in because I thought that you was going to do this and do that. I'm like, why? You're not worth all that. Back in the day, I used to, but now I'm like, I'm cool. I'm like, I can walk away. If this is what it is, then this is what it is. Because guess what? What you don't appreciate in me, trust me, it's somebody else will. So that's the whole thing about that. So I'm like, when you're talking about being loyal, give people what you want. Like if you want somebody to be loyal to you and trustworthy, then you got to put that issue. You got to be what you want.
Shoot, I remember I gave a Bama a bottle of wine. And when I went to his house, I think I gave him the wine like that Tuesday or whatever. And when I went to his house, like for that Friday or whatever, and Thursday, I'm expecting us to drink the wine. The wine was in the refrigerator, it was open, and it was 2 glasses in the sink.
Was he a wine connoisseur?
So you don't experience the wine thing too.
He wasn't cultured. Again, that's your fault. You're entertaining the guy who's not cultured on a certain level. And so he didn't know what to do with it.
No.
So
that's bad.
And this guy knew exactly what to do. But see, here's the thing. It was something little. See, it's the little things that we women pick up on.
Yeah.
He would have never in a million years thought that would make a difference to see some dishes. But see, we see everything. Like you guys, y'all see some stuff. We see everything. And so it's just like, it was just a combination of little 1 + 1 + 1 equals, hey, he got a chick.
He's a bastard.
1 + 1 is something else.
When I used to do my dirt, I was good about my dirt. I have everything you never suspected, not nothing. I mean, not. I was good with it. I'm not going to be disrespectful to you.
So you're saying she should have had a conversation with him when she first saw the condom and say, hey, look, not casting any aspersions, but you left the condom wrapper in the trash. What do you think I'm supposed to think about that so we don't have this problem going further? Do a sweep through your house before I get here so I don't see the other things that you're doing.
No, don't sweep through your house. Leave me alone and do who you was using the condom with. Continue to rock out. Don't.
But y'all had a good relationship up to that point, right?
On my end, at least I thought
it was a good relationship.
But it wasn't a good relationship because you was not all in it. So I'm like, okay, so just do.
He was all
You didn't
in
give it. You didn't give
No,
him
he
the
was
time.
all. He was all in her.
it. He was all in it.
He was all in her. But I'm just like, the thing is, it's like
You don't know. He might have had certain proclivities that he didn't want to take into your relationship that he had desires for, that
and
he
I
had
and,
to deal
and, and
with.
I helped him
And
out
so
with
he
that.
dealt with that other places, and he didn't bring that drama to you.
And I helped him out with it.
He
So
was
now
good
he
to
was free to just do whatever it is that he want to do.
His cleaning habits just weren't up to par. That's all
Because
that
I
was.
know that because the way that rapper, because you could tell he didn't think that it was gonna be so. Because you could tell he tried to, because it was all, it's not like it was just,
So how did
out and how it was like that.
So it was balled up. So how did you know it was even condom?
Because when I went, the garbage can, it was empty. And so here it is. It's like you drop it in, and this is how, then it's plastic, so it starts to unravel. So I'm just, not even looking for anything. I'm like, and it was flipped upside down, so it comes on the side with the name Trojan. So I'm like, I said, okay. I don't know. I ain't take it out the garbage thing. That was just enough for me. But my thing is like, loyalty and trust are two very, very, very important.
Had the two of you had the conversation about exclusivity?
Yes.
And what did he say?
And we were not exclusive. We were dating, but still at the time, listen.
So again, you messed up a good situation between the both of you.
No, I didn't. Because my thing is, I'm like
did.
this. No, see, we were dating, but see, you want to date other people, but see, you want me to be in a relationship. So he was trying to relationship.
No,
me.
he dated you.
No, he was trying to.
You were the person he was in a relationship with.
No, he wanted me to be in a relationship. Like he don't want me to see nobody else.
He was just
but
plucking
he wanted
those
to
other
date.
girls.
No. Well, whatever it was he was doing, I'm out, because don't try to. You know how some dudes do, how they try to make you be in a. You can't do nothing.
You my girl.
Right.
You don't go nowhere. You don't see nobody.
So you're saying he put restrictions on you.
Yeah. We're trying to make it weird. We all together. Shut up.
He was all together
But
with you.
How important is loyalty and trust in business? Can you do business with someone that is not loyal and that you don't trust? Can that be?
You cannot be in business with someone you do not trust or share the same business-related values.
What about you, Ian?
I was just having that conversation earlier today.
I agree with Pastor. Not to get it, put my money invested into you.
Yeah, that's. I think that's even more riskier, and you gotta, look at that even, because being in business, it's almost to me, I feel like it's just as serious as being in a relationship. Like if you can't trust the person that you're in a relationship with, and you can't trust the person that you're in business with, then it's like, okay, what are we really doing? So now, how trustworthy are you in a relationship, and how loyal are you in a relationship? Are you loyal in a relationship?
Me? Oh, I thought you were just asking a random question to anybody in the room. These days, I am probably the best I've ever been in regards to loyalty, and I've been a pseudo loyal person in relationships in the past. But these days, I don't want to deal with the BS, and so I try to be as present as I possibly can be.
Now, what about you, E? How is loyalty?
I'm very loyal till you just mess up, and after that, I'm just like, I'm gonna be me. Then
So the answer is no.
I'm very loyal, and then when you do what I know, listen, I tell them all, I suffer from this, that, the other, some issues up there, yes, but I'm far from stupid,
right?
So when you play me like I'm stupid, not a problem. I got you. Don't even worry about it. We both can play this game. What about you?
I'm very loyal. Like I say, I've never cheated. I will leave. Like my thing is, I'll leave. Like I have did the clown over some cheating situations in the past, but as I'm gonna use Alvin's words, as of late, you know what? I don't even have the time or the energy to put forth arguing about a situation, to put forth even trying to invest. Because once I see some ish, and I'm like, okay, what you saying, it don't even make sense. I'm like, I'm just gonna remove myself from the situation and I'm gonna let you do you, because clearly you were not committed and clearly you were not loyal to what we had and what you said that we had and what you said that we were doing. Clearly you were not loyal to that, whether it be in a relationship or it was business. So it's like whatever you find out, I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't even want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to argue. I don't want to, act ugly. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to act ugly because I know who I am and I know what I bring to the table. And I know loyalty and trust are two big things for me. I'm like, if I can't trust you and you're not loyal to me, it's a wrap. Because I'm like, at the end of the day, I know I'm too good of a woman to deal with all of this crazy stuff. So me personally, I'm like, I'm just not, I'm just not gonna deal with it. Like I don't have to.
Nicole says she can't. Nicole says she can't remain in that relationship. Hey Erica.
Hey Nicole. Yeah, I could. I'm like, I'm just not.
I think, I'll give you, the little once over. I'll be like, okay, you messed up that time. Everybody messes up. Fine. I'll give you that little one. Now that you messed up twice. Now you really want me to show my ass. Now it depends on how much I love you. If I don't really care about you, I'm gonna show my ass. I'm gonna just be like, let's just call it a day, and I got other things to do. Now, if I care about you, I'm going to show my ass. I am. And you don't just hate me, and it is what it is. I don't really care, because you really didn't care about my feelings in the whole process, and you thought only of yourself. So I'm gonna help you get your little penis wet. It's gonna get wet real good. I got some tricks on my sleeve that can get it wet for you.
All right, all jokes aside.
You know what? You threw it right off guard. I can't.
But all jokes aside, there's nothing more important than your peace of mind.
You man.
And so if you have to question what's going on with your partner, no, you shouldn't be there. No, you shouldn't wait. And you're probably in the safest space for you because you won't even entertain the curiosity, because it may very well send you off on a binge where now you're not only digging through garbage, but now you're under his bed and through all this stuff and going through his phone.
I ain't about to waste my time.
And you know what? I am so now.
But that's what I'm saying.
I'm so
you're not
reformed.
going to stay around.
Yeah. Because back in the day, listen, when my knees look good, I'd be around, in them TT bushes on, like I said, on our west side, baby. You could not keep me off them bushes.
I see you
driving through some alleys, all. But now I'm just like, listen, like you say, people make mistakes. So, I've seen a mistake. I'm like, okay, but then that mistake puts you on guard.
Yeah, it does. It makes you like,
you on guard.
It puts your eyes on when you see little things you like, and it please pay attention to that little voice in your head saying, peep this mother something. Pay attention to that voice.
It puts you on guard. So it's like once you on guard, then once number two comes, then
it's a wrap. Once number two, you see it. Like I told you when that. I was like, wait a minute.
I'm
like,
sure
I love them.
What are we supposed to be doing? But I gotta go. Right. I'm like, I can't deal with this. I'm like, I can love you and not be with you, because I'm like, you know what? Like you say, my peace of mind is much better. So it's like when people are talking about loyalty, it's so many people, women, you want them to be loyal, but yet you out here still dipping around with your baby daddy and all, so it's like it's a two-way street for both men and women. If you
it's just
want
time
loyalty,
to have adult conversation.
And people not doing that. It's
they do, but you still lying. That's the problem.
And it's like, why?
If you don't want to have the adult conversation, I know, hey, Ivy Boo.
It's like, why are we lying? Like, it's like if you're single,
then say you single. But if you're not single, if you know you out here slut bucking around and you want to screw Tom, Dick, Harry, or Shirley, it's Julia, and the rest of them, just say that. Just say, babe, listen, I want a relationship, yes. But I really want to dip my little stick over here. That cool, and not a problem. I could probably have a relationship with you, but you best believe you ain't sticking your little nasty pole up in this right here. Now I'm gonna have Tom over here and let him stick his pole up in this right here.
I can't.
I was having that conversation with
we're not gonna have
with my barber earlier today, and I was like, why don't you, and he's telling me, I'm really into this lady, and she's accommodating, and she's this and she's that, and then he was like, yeah, but I'm still messing with so and so because she got that wop. I'm like, but why don't you just be honest?
And they can't.
Let them know who you are. Let them know who you are early.
And that's why we talked about, and that's why this show was titled what it was, loyalty. And so many people want it, but they don't give it. So it's like, don't ask for something that you're not willing to give. But guys, listen, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Thank you so much, Alvin, for joining us. Good night, guys.
Thank you for hitting the J Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.